Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan created a unique world with The Strain.
You know, we think we're very modern with the cell phones, the downloads, the uploads, and all that.
There's someone down there!
To a virus, this might as well be the Middle Ages.
There's a fantastic element to it, but it's set against a true reality.
The show starts out pretty bad. There's a couple hundred dead people on an airplane.
They're all dead.
And then, with every beat in the show, it seems to get a little worse.
We have a perception of what reality is, and then all of a sudden, your whole reality changes.
I have seen this disease before. I have faced it before.
They're confounded by this new disease and this conspiracy surrounding it.
Things aren't adding up.
I agree, and
I think that would slow me down a little.
It's basically the end of the world, and little by little, they realize that.
Doctor, did you find the coffin? If you have the coffin, then you still have him. It is not too late. Destroy the coffin. Do not allow it across the river.
Guillermo del Toro is an incredible world builder. He has this unique ability to create and mold and shape believable worlds that are emotionally compelling, but also very scary and very intense.
You have a lot of stuff that you can find in New York that is really creepy and speaks of the old world, but is buried under the surface of a really modern, hip metropolis.
Next shoes up!
Roll it! This way, where you go, how bad is it? And then you turn.
Just the detail in everything is absolutely brilliant. Just out the front here, a row of shops and bars over the road. They put the wet pavement. Sometimes you have a car sailing past or a scooter.
Then he turns to you like, okay?
We heard you buy silver without a receipt. Is that right?
I'm always in need of good silver, yes?
Knock on the walls. They're all wood made to look like steel and brick, and the art department are incredible on this. Every environment's brilliant.
Here we go. When I showed up to do the pilot, the look of the show didn't look like a television show to me. It looked like a big studio feature film.
The production values are huge, and we've got the planes and all this stuff. It still starts off in the real world.
Action, you're coming this way.
F and I go inside the plane in hazmat suits, and we try to figure out why those people are dead.
Then you shine it, and we see a splash on her face on the seat, and then the other guy. And then you turn around and point it here, and you point it there.
And it's a pretty striking, grim scene just to enter that aircraft and just see everyone completely gone.
Oh my God. Jim, do you see this?
But when we walked onto the airplane, it took my breath away. Just to have that kind of production value, you can almost look anywhere. You could stick your head in the TV set and look anywhere around, and you're like, you're in this world.
Then I give you the lead line. I'm sending SWAT right now. And you go, no, send paramedics. We have survivors. And cut and print and check that in. Very good. Sorry about the light and the suit and everything. No, fine. We should be doing Shakespeare in the park.
Okay.
Nora.
What the hell is that?
He's looking for a host. It's desperate.
What we really wanted to do was take a semi-traditional horror story and marry it with a crime procedural and really give it some energy.
Oh, thank God you're here. I have this noise in my head, like a hum.
Well, The World of the Strain is a particular mix of CSI reality, quick, moving, analytic, with a very gothic approach to science.
The story starts off very biological.
On action, you start walking, checking all the bags.
And then it becomes very political. I'm invoking the Health Powers Act.
Quarantine?
It's a complex story with an enormous canvas.
I'm Ephraim Goodweather. I'm the Chief Medical Officer for the Centers of Disease Control here in New York.
That's the great thing about television now. You can spend a lot of time developing characters and it can go over, you know, seasons.
I think I'm supposed to stand here and somehow reassure you. I can't do that.
It is a series where now you can embellish and add, and the writers are taking those liberties and running with it.
All you do is talk and talk. I want my daughter back.
In a way, I think it's Guillermo's stamp. He creates this magical, beautiful world. And at the same time, you have very human connections that ground all the characters and just make those worlds real.
Dr. Goodweather, this is the last of 6 court-appointed custody counseling sessions. You've been late for 4 of them.
I think that we have characters that have huge flaws, that are really, really competent in their professional field, but they're very incompetent in their personal lives.
This might be my last chance.
This is who you are.
And this is really compelling to watch. It makes for a horrible life, but makes for great television.
There's something you have to see in the cargo area right now.
What is it?
Looks like a coffin, doesn't it?
There's a pace and a heightened quality to the way we tell the story. But in the end, I think it's the most compelling not to think of it as horror or any particular genre.
It's a latch.
But just a human being encountering these given circumstances.
Why would anyone put a latch on the inside?
The Strain is the first time I can fully approach vampire biology in the way I want it. So the vampires have a whole biological side that I figured out over more than 20 years.
Guillermo has designed these vampires from the ground up. They're built on sort of a sense of biology and science, so they have this real credibility. I think you need that sort of baseline of science and biology in order to make the world believable and to make the vampires credible.
A lot of these fantastical transformations that happen are things that are echoed in nature. There are a lot of different viruses and parasites that can infect the host and completely change the biology.
The stingers basically replaced the digestive system, so there's no more stomach. There's the esophagus, the organs that have withered up, the heart, the lungs have recessed, and then the stomach area, which would normally be intestines, is now replaced by this, because this is what does all the feeding.
The way Guillermo described it is it's almost like it's becoming interlocking fingers of sorts that would open up to expand the neck, which is also part of the reasoning behind the skin flaps and everything in the neck. And it's almost like a bullfrog.
Action. Can you see this? It's an incision, deep enough to puncture the one wall of the carotid artery without rupture.
It makes it sort of easier for people to understand when we do an autopsy, you know, the first guy that they try and save and they can't understand, well, what are these worms swimming through his body?
Imagine the worms moving the air, you know? It's like you're pushing them and then you're watching them move.
And through it, we explain how the vampire biology works.
Guillermo has put so much energy and so much beautiful details in creating these incredible vampires.
There was a lot of concept work done that preceded the production of the show, where he was working with a team of artists that he'd been working with for many years on the creature concepts.
They look disgusting, but there's a sadness, and they look lost.
So detailed and fascinating to look at, yet horrific.
The thing that's amazing is when it's really well lit. And Guillermo, you can see he gets excited when it comes to photographing the effects. You know, that there's a way to do it where it comes to life, where the performance of the actor can emerge through. We all have a great imagination. Guillermo's just able to put his imagination into usable words or phrases or ideas so that people can bring them to life for him.
It's not this, that.
You want me to grab him?
You can come to the temple on the left. That one. Your left. That right temple, that one. You know?
Every minute of the day is working and he's crafting, and you can really tell that in the scripts.
Oh.
Every character has a really specific quality to them. Everything looks beautiful, but everything has a heart to it as well. And that's what makes him so brilliant.
The cargo has arrived safely, and all 4 survivors have been found.
Guillermo treats his creatures, his monsters, like his family. He loves them. It's not just an invention of evil.
That good or that too much? That was beautiful.
They're living creatures, they have a reason to live, they have a motivation, and the motivation is not being as bad as possible. The motivation is fulfill your reason of existence as much as you can.
Love is going to guide them all back to their homes, to their loved ones.
The vampire plague in the strain is unique because I'm going back to the essential roots of the Eastern European vampiric myth. The vampire goes back to those he or she loves and kills them first. So it's clear from the beginning of the series that love is a thing that is both horrible and beautiful. There's a takedown of society and the way we spread the plague that is very, very poignant, because you see the fathers destroying the children destroying the parents. It's really quite brutal.
Papa.
And you see them painfully turn into what they would hate to be the most. Okay, we're gonna need to see the hand. Very strong.
With Guillermo, he really throws down the gauntlet to come up with something better.
Let me show you where we're going.
So, you know, in trying to bring his taste to television, I think that everyone has to bring their A game.
Everybody close your eyes.
So there's a collective will to make this really work.
It's nice to talk to him, and then I'll take care of him.
You do it perfectly.
The actors are fantastic. The production values are tremendous. All these great toys to play with, be them the props.
And look at F.
The costumes, the pilot is like shooting a movie.
All right, check the game.
It's really interesting exploring how a human being will actually react when faced with this treacherous threat.
I think it has a message of hope in it, that through any adversity, humans can survive.
This time, I cannot fail.
What is it? It's different.
It's very epic.
Pure horror.